Hi, everyone. Welcome to Social Work 6331, Introduction to Human Behavior in the Macro Social Environment. I am going to be going over just very briefly chapters 1 and 2 this week with you all. Again, these videos are going to be designed to be just kind of a brief overview of chapters one, through the rest of the semester. Um, but you will definitely need to make sure that you're reading the textbook for more information. So, chapter 1 really gets started with what is macro? What is the macro social environment? And really, when we're thinking about macro social work, we think about communities, we think about organizations and groups. This can also include social, economic, and political forces, and it can also include social institutions as well. So if you look at this image right here, you might have a microsystem like yourself right here. And you exist in and around groups and organizations. So within this whole sphere is the community. And there are multiple different types of organizations and multiple different types of groups that exist within a community. And you exist within that as well. So that is kind of a little overview of the macro system. Um, in terms of theory, we're going to be going over a number of different theories throughout the semester. This is going to be really important information for you to grasp for your licensing exam as well. So I would definitely make sure that you're familiar with theories. Ecosystems theory is a very popular, very common theory within social work. Um, and these are a lot of the basic key terms, terminology that's used within ecosystems theory. So I would familiarize yourself with ecosystems theory as a whole, as well as some of these individual key terms as well. So again, when we think about social work, you think about micro, meso, and macro. And then you have client systems and then macro client systems as well. So throughout this semester, we're going to be talking a lot about the the macro system and the macro client system as well. Microsystems make up mesosystems. So you might see like a small group, again, consists of each individual's microsystem. Same again within a macro system. It's consisted of several mesosystems and then microsystems within those mesosystems. So there's a lot of different systems that you'll think about, especially in relation to working with clients as well. And then you have things like community macro systems. So you might have a whole community, and there are lots of different groups, organizations within a community that make up the community's macro system. So, oftentimes, social workers intervene in terms of macro systems to help clients navigate and to negotiate these macro social environments. So, to help, the social workers working within the client system to help them navigate these different community systems, these different organizations as well. So that is oftentimes our role as social workers is to help to help navigate and negotiate within these systems. So, generalist practice social workers, again, this is in the textbook, so I really want you to make sure you're kind of familiarizing yourself with this. It's really to be able to work within any system and any size. Generalist practitioners, which all of you will be work within, should be able to work within any organizational structure. We're throughout this semester going to be learning about kind of the seven-stepped planned change process. You're going to learn a lot about different professional roles in terms of, as well as leadership roles. You're also going to learn about critical thinking skills from a macro perspective, as well as different research practices from a macro perspective as well. Chapter two this week really dives into the values and the ethics of the profession with regards to the macro social system. So, as you guys all should know, the NASW Code of Ethics, the core values are service, social justice, dignity and worth of the person, importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence. And so the textbook is going to go through these different ethical values and in relation to the macro system. And then there's also the Code of Ethics ethical standards. And each of these, again, if you're thinking about them from a macro perspective, you're engaged in various communities and organizations and groups. And so, what is your role as a social worker in terms of ethical responsibilities to clients within these groups, to colleagues in the practice settings, to the social work profession, and to the broader society as well? And then what are ethical dilemmas pertaining to macro practice? Um, there are a couple of other things that the textbook is really going to highlight regarding macro practice, really focusing on empowerment and ensuring others achieve self determination is going to be a huge part of social work in general, but particularly within macro practice. Another huge focus is going to be the strengths perspective as well as resiliency, and this idea and belief that strengths, in individuals or groups or communities, internal strengths can be used to combat difficulty or conflict within the group. So that's a little bit about this week, and next week I will have a little overview for next week as well. Thank you guys so much.